Alright guys, so we're taking a look at this Intel Core i7-9700K. This isn't brand new, but it's a CPU that still pops up, and people are still curious about it. So, is it still worth considering in current year? Let's dive in. This chip rocks 8 cores, but unlike newer i7s, it doesn't have hyperthreading. That means 8 cores and 8 threads. Now, that might sound like a limitation compared to some newer chips, but for gaming, especially back when this was king, it was a powerhouse. You're looking at a base clock speed of 3.6 GHz, but it turbos up to 4.9 GHz, which is still respectable today. That turbo boost is where the magic happens, giving you that extra oomph in demanding games. One of the cool things about this processor is that it's unlocked. That means you can overclock it. If you're into squeezing every last drop of performance out of your system, you can push this thing even further. Just remember, you'll need a decent cooler, as this guy runs at 95 WTDP. Speaking of which, remember this is just the processor. You'll need to buy a cooler separately. It's compatible with motherboards based on Intel's 300 series chipset. So if you're upgrading from an older system, you might need a new motherboard. Keep that in mind for your budget. It supports up to 64 gigabytes of DDR4 2666 MHz RAM in a dual-channel configuration. Not the fastest RAM speed we see today, but still plenty for most games. Now for the integrated graphics, it's got Intel UHD Graphics 630. It's fine for basic desktop use, but let's be real, if you're buying this CPU, you're probably pairing it with a dedicated graphics card for gaming. You wouldn't want to bottleneck this CPU with integrated graphics. So, who is this CPU for in current year? It's a good option for someone building a mid-range gaming PC on a budget, especially if you can find it at a good price. It's still capable of handling most modern games at respectable settings. It's not going to be the absolute top performer, but it offers a solid price-to-performance ratio, especially if you're willing to overclock. Just remember to factor in the cost of a cooler and a compatible motherboard. If you're building a brand new system and not constrained by budget, there are newer options with more cores, threads, and PCIe lanes that might be a better long-term investment. But if you're looking for a cost-effective upgrade or building a solid mid-range gaming rig, the i7-9700K is still a contender. Just do your research and compare it to other CPUs in its price range to make sure it's the right fit for you.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.